It's like you're watching a movie 1.5 hour, but you're listening to me crapping up nonsense. What's for, right? So I now break into different parts. Okay. Anyway, mid-semester exam is on the teaching plan, right? And I put it on the 6th week. Is it the 6th week? Can you check for me? The 6th week, is it, or the 7th week? 7. Week 7, right? Week 7, and then I did put the date already, right? So it will be over here in the lecture hall. Question something like that, right? Question will be something like that. I will have 4 questions. Last week I already showed you one type of questions already, right? Did I show you the questions, right, last week? The one regarding on selecting which ERP system one, whether to suggest or not to suggest. Right, something like that, right? The question will be something like that. So someone is asking, is it online? Is it, of course it's physical. Physical, you can come here and I want to see you all. Can you bring the laptop? Of course cannot. It's not open book test. You can bring the laptop, but you cannot open the laptop. Yeah, pen and paper. Pen and paper. We go old school style. But don't worry, the assignment is very easy. Alright, assignment is just later next week. Next week, if you're around, then I will show you in the lab. You install the accounting software and then we try to perform some accounting transactions in the accounting system, which is where the AIS role came into play. Alright, just now you understand the business process, right? So the accounting system is for you to capture those processes. Basically, capture those data. You got different business transactions, right? You want to record inside the system and then produce the financial report. Your assignment is very simple. Just to record, just to perform basic data transaction, data entry. Perform basic data entry up to generating the financial reports. That's the assignment. And it is very easy that I even set the time for you, right? I call you to submit during the, I don't know which week is it, but after the mid break. But just in case if you cannot submit during that time, you come to me and let me know, okay? We'll have some time for you to get it done, but it's very easy. If you come to the tutorial, follow the steps, input the transaction into the system, and then you get the financial report. It's very good for you to have the early exposure. Very good for you to have the exposure to accounting software. Because later you will become accountants, right? Unless you've got other plan, okay? But yeah, that is the assignment, and then the midterm will be something like that, alright? There will be 4 questions. Last week is 1 question already, this week another question, and then the following 2 more weeks there will be another 2 more questions, alright? So you will expect something like this. And if you're going to ask me, what if the term is different or you don't have the correct term, right? Is it compatible or not? My answer to you is, I will accept the answer without forcing like a single term on it, like how do I say this? Basically, I will look at the logic. You understand or not? The concept. There will be no specific term that you must have for me to give you the marks. Of course, if you say something wrong means it's wrong, but there's no specific term or anything. Of course, the main term is what I'm trying to say, right? I contradict with myself. Most of the question is applicable questions, but it's simple type of application questions that if you come to the class, you understand the basic concept, then you can answer. Okay? No, okay. Now we try this question and see, okay? So over here is a question. Can I have someone to help me to read? Who want to volunteer? All right. What's your name? Yeah? Fahan. Fahana. Thank you, Fahana. Can you read this one?
Okay. John is explaining the operation of ABC Electronics to Jack, who just started his first day at the company. We manufacture smartphones and tablets here. John begins. It all started with us getting the parts we need, like screens and batteries from different suppliers. We have a team that handles all the purchases to make sure we never run out of components for the assembly line. Once we have the parts, the factory workers assemble them into the final products, and they get tested and packaged for shipping. After that, our sales teams step into to handle customer orders, whether it is a retail store or someone buying online. They make sure everything is processed smoothly, and the logistic team ships out the products. Customer service is also a big part of our business. We deal with returns, warranty issues, and technical support inquiries. The accounting department, on the other hand, take care of the finance. They track the payment coming in from customers and make sure the suppliers are paid on time. Plus, they are responsible for preparing financial reports at the end of the month.
All right, thank you. Fahana, right? Fahana. Give Fahana a clap. Okay, so first of all, we want to see is what is the business process can you identify? Go back here. First of all, what you need to do is you need to know what type of business is this, right? So what type of business is it? It's a manufacturer, right? It manufactures smartphone, okay, and tablets. So what business process can you identify from your explanation? Can we start from this line over here? Over here to here is the big talk lah, right? Telling you what the business is about. Then from here only they tell you what is the processes. Okay, can I have someone help me with this one over here? It starts with us getting the parts we need, like screen and battery from different supplier. We have a team to handle all purchasing to make sure we never run out of the component. Okay, from here to here is what? The expenditure, the purchase, right? The purchase cycle or expenditure cycle. Is it okay? Okay, boleh? You're just identifying what business process can you identify, right? From John's explanation to Jack. Okay, what is next? What is next? Assembly is once you have the parts, the factory worker assemble them into the final product, right? Over here the keyword is purchase lah. Over here we have the keyword of assemble, right? It means the production, right, or the processes. The one that is the one that involved with the production, all right, or the building of the phone, manufacturing of the phones or the tablet. Very simple, right? Senang. You got your second marks already lah, right? Just now here you identify purchases or expenditure, you got 1 marks. Then you need to write back lah, what is it about. Then over here the assembly or production, then you identify what is it. Then what's next? After that, our sales team start up to handle the customer order, right? The sales, right? We got the sales cycle. It's explaining, yes. You don't understand which one? Oh, I highlight here. It's like the key term for you to look at it, and then you can identify from that word is what kind of process. Yes. So here you can see purchase is purchase, the expenditure processor, right? Then you can see the assembly, the production process. And then we can see over here the sales is the revenue or the sales process. Then we got some more what? We can say that inside the sales process, there's also the billing. Where's the billing? Billing, I didn't include it inside here, right? Logistic, yes. Logistic team over here. See this? If you write billing, I don't give you marks, right? It's not wrong or anything, just that you got no marks. You got what I mean or not? It's based on the question. Based on the questions. Then we got this one, customer service, right? And then you got this, what is it? The accounting department that produced the reporting, right? The reporting. You can give it a term or you can say that this is to record the transactions, processes. Then you can highlight the accounting team, take care of the finances. Then track the payment. Then over here you can say the billing now it's valid. You see? Okay? These are how you identify you can identify from the case over here. Okay? There's also another case over here, but I will not go through. But let us continue another one. What process involves handling the supplier and ensuring that there's enough component or processes? Just what processes deal with this one? So you can say the production processes. Okay, give it a term, right? Then which process deal with customer and fulfilling order, and how to manage that? This one, you can give them a customer service. You can say, okay, focus again, customer and fulfilling order, and how it is managed. What is this one? The billing also can, right? Logistic, delivery to the customer, but over here is customer and fulfilling order. Processes deal with customer service, customer and fulfilling order. You can also put in the customer service, but you need to justify it. Right? Justify accordingly. Okay. How does accounting department fit in the overall business operation based on John's description? So over here the fit. Yes.
Fulfilling orders means is the customer hasn't bought the product yet, right? So customer service isn't it like
After the tax.
So is it more to revenue cycle because it's like fulfilling the order then we get the money? Isn't it part of the revenue cycle?
Yes, part of revenue cycle. Yeah, that's a good one. So how the accounting department fit into the overall business operation? So accounting department, on the other hand, take care of the finances. So how it can fit into the overall business operation? Help to, you can say from here, you can say help to record the purchasing transactions, help to record the assembly, help to record the movement of the product from the assembly line, right? And then help to record the sales, the customer order. And then the accounting system also can help to track the shipping. Okay, something like that, right? Something like that. Yes. Uh-huh. You take the point from here, and then you can write from your perspective. Yes. Oh, here's another case. We don't have much time. I will skip this one first, but don't worry, I will give you the answer as well. I will upload this one and give you the answer as well. I have to go to the documentation technique now. Okay. Noise. I was just looking at possible thunderstorm. Documentation techniques. So just now you learned the business processes, right? In a very general view. And then I show you the questions. Basically, what is the purpose of the question is, it shows you it gives you what is the business processes in the company. And then from that case, you try to identify what type of processes that is inside the company. Alright? Then, now we move into the next part, which is to document those processes. Just now you see everything is narration, right? Like for example over here, you see all of this. This is all the narration, right? Like story. It's like a story, right? It's like a narration. You understand? It's like a story. But if you want to show people, alright, for them to look at it easier, you will present to them a documentation method. You will show to them the flow chart, basically, right? You will show to them, like, okay, first step inside this is they have assembly, then they have assembly, they have the purchase, then they have assembly, then they have the sales. After that, they have the logistics, then they got the customer service, then they have the accounting department that can track all these processes. So what you want to do is you want to capture those narration into a figure, right? Visualize it. So what is documentation technique? It's a method. It's a method It's a method used, all right, to visualize, all right, visualize. Visualize the business processes of the activities involved in the processes. Okay, very simple. This now is narration. You are telling stories, but telling stories is sometimes long-winded, right? Sometimes too long, and then you cannot see the big picture. So what you want to do is you want to documentize those narration into a figure, into a flow chart, right? So that from the flow chart you can tell the whole picture of the processes. So why do we need to do that, right? The question here is why. Why do we need to have? You got what I'm trying to say? Instead of telling someone how this company works, right? You come to work in the company, and then there is this your senior, right? Your senior tells you how to record the data entries or how to perform audit. But when they tell you from a narration way, sometimes you will forget, right? Or sometimes it's too long. But if you have something like flowcharts, what is first, next, and then what is the following steps, then you can have a better understanding, right? So here we have different reasons why documentation technique is useful. Of course, first is the clarity, right? Clarity. Like just now, for example, I'm trying to explain to you, it's not clear, right? You don't get what I'm trying to say. But if I show you, like this step, then next step, then the following step from a picture, then you can see that, oh, if you log into the system, you need to go to maybe click on the customer first. Then only you can create the customer order. You understand? It's more clear. Why do you need the documentation? It's also, the next reason is to, once you can see the whole picture of the processes, you can do what? Can interpret, implement. You can try to, what is after that? Improve, right? You can improve the process, which is another reason why documentation is important. Of course, over here is the what is this? Okay, so if you have in a company, you have maybe 5% handles the accounts receivable, right? 5% handle the account receivable. You want all these 5% to be doing the same work, right? You want them to go through the same processes, following the standardized, right? You want them, so if you have a flow, you have a documentation flow, then it will help the standardization, right, in between different people. Standard TAR. Is it correct, standardization? Where's the N? Standard DAR. ST. Okay, my brain cannot work already. Alright, is it correct? STAN dot. Right, like this. Standardization. Alright. It's like an S lah, you know. UK or British. I don't, it's okay lah, it can go either way. It's not English class, so safe. Okay? Okay, this one is a bit out of scope. Out of scope? This one is a bit outside from your understanding. What's the A over here? Documentation technique. Yeah? Accuracy. Analyzation. Attainable. Okay, maybe you don't know yet. I will help you with this. A documentation, if you have the business process, right, then you convert those business process into a business process. No, it's actually, why is it useful? It is useful for the auditors to audit the business process. Why is it important? So that the auditors can access the processes. You ask me why is it the auditor? Why is it important for the auditor, right? Do you know what's auditor role? Auditor role is to make sure that the financial report is presented in true and fair view. You will provide the reasonable assurance, right? So the keyword is reasonable assurance and ensure that the profit and loss statement is true and fair view. And how you're going to do audit is you're going to check back, right, all those transactions, whether those transactions accurately enter into the system to produce the financial report. So from the input until the output is the process. The auditor, what they will do is, they will, in a big company, they cannot check everything. It's impossible, right? So they will do a sampling, they will do a substantial procedure, right? Either substantial procedure or they do the test of control to ensure that those systems, those processes is okay, right? It's true and fair, or is it working or not? So if you have a proper documentation, the auditor can refer to the documentation, the flow charts, and see if there's a proper segregation or not in between the process, right? To see if the data is captured completely or not. You got what I'm trying to say? Yeah? That's why the auditor is, why is it useful? It is useful for the auditor to audit. Okay? And of course, this is another thing is that it's training, right? Training. It is useful for training. Training, TRAINING, right? Training, right? Okay, I have not much time over there. All right, I can see. There's a lot of types. Okay, there's a lot of types of documentation techniques. A lot of types. If you refer to the textbook, there's a lot of them. But what I want to focus at over here is only two, which is the data flow diagram, which is in short DFD, and also the flow charts. Yes, the flow charts. The flow charts over here, there is different types of flow charts for different purposes. All right, these are all the line lah. You can see there's a lot of flow charts. We got the process, we got the document flow chart, and the system flow chart. Yes. They are not the same. They are not the same. Just in a while, we can see the differences over here. So what is the differences? Very simple. You can see that the flow chart, let me just use this. Flow chart look at the sequence, but sequence and step of the process. But the data flow chart is the flow of data. Then the data flow diagram looks at the data source and data storage and data processes, but the flowchart looks at the decision point and actions. Yeah. Basically, data flow diagram looks at the data, like how the data flow. It is not specific into the steps on like step 1, step 2, step 3. The main focus is to look at how the data is flow. But on the other hand, the flow chart, you look at specific like documents, like how the documents flow from one department to another department. Yes, more specific. More specific. Go back here. Okay. Let me just go through this shape for a while. So to draw the flow chart, right? To draw the flow chart, you must first understand the shape. These are the shape for flow charts. These are the shape for data flow diagram. Data flow diagram only have 4 shapes. Right. Okay, we start with this one. This is the process. So maybe picking orders. Yeah. Okay. The process maybe taking order, or updating the accounts ledger, updating the journals, or updating the account payable. It's a processes. Arrow is arrow, right? Pointing to link to another point. This is a diamond, alright? Diamond. Diamond is decision making, right? Then over here, this is a triangle. When multiple points merge into one, right? Multiple actions merge into one. So don't worry. When we look at next week, when we look into detail on the revenue cycle, we will study further on how to use this. All right. There will be some narration on the revenue cycle. Then from there, we will try to construct the flowchart. which will also be inside your midterm exam. Alright. Over here is the connector. Connector, if it connects to another processors. It can also be on-page and off-page connector. It means one page is not big enough because the process is too complicated. Then you have another page to connect. So that's a connector also. Connector got two purposes. One is to connect between different processors. Like, for example, you want to connect maybe the revenue cycle. In between the revenue cycle, there is the billing. Sales order. You want to connect with the billing inside the processors. So you can use a connector. Or connector in the second way of using it is the page is too small. You don't have enough space. You can use a connector to link to another page. Okay. Of course, this one looks like documents. All right, it is something like that. All right. Don't worry, I will share with you the shape, not this ugly shape, right? I will share with you the actual shape when we study next week, when we go into revenue cycle, expenditure cycle, and general ledger cycle. We will see the actual shape. Over here is input, output, and then this one is database. Database means where you store the data. I need to actually rush up this part. Alright, let me just rush through this for you. Alright. Over here is manual entry. Alright. Manual data entry or anything that got to manually because you are now dealing with the system, so manually intervene the system. So you will use this logo. And then over here we have the manual process. Okay? This will be, of course there's a lot of shape. Don't need to go all, right? These are the one that I require you to understand. And these are the typical ones that you need to know. Over here for DFD, this box over here is the entity, external entity. External entity, referring to maybe supplier, customer, right? External outside from the system, or the accountants, senior accountants, accounts payable, the one that will input the data or the one that will receive the data. Then over here is the process. With a line over here, this one will be 1.0. So there will be different level of DFD. First level, second level, and third level of DFD. So the first level is the general one. So maybe over here is a process of taking order. Then you're going to one more detail and then further detail. But don't worry, when we go into the revenue cycle, the next week class, alright, I will show you the application. But now what you would have to be happy with is you understand this diagram, this logo. Okay? Over here is the storage, database / storage. Over here also we have like 1.0, and then this one is the arrow. Okay, these are the diagram that you will, next week you will apply this. Of course, actually there's a case over here I want to go through it, but yeah, I don't think we have time, right?
So can you go back to case study this one?
Yeah, I will
after this listening.
Okay, I will share with you anyway. Okay. Next week. Okay, next week we'll go into the detail one. But basically, this question will be linked. You will link this question to the next 2 weeks. Right, next 2 weeks. So okay. Oh yeah, attendance do go into this. Okay, go into this. All small letter, all small letter, and then this is underscore.